Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Nicole Sauce's Thought of the Walk. What you're looking at right there, do you know what that is? That, my friends, is black walnut. Look at all that bounty that's about to come off this tree. That'll feed some pigs and some people. But let's zoom out on this a little bit. Look at this tree. What do you notice about the tree? It's September. Look at that tree. There aren't very many leaves on that tree, are there? Just a couple right at the tips of the branches, and then black walnuts. If we contrast it with this chestnut tree, it's got all its leaves still. You may be wondering, like, what's going on with that? It's fall. It's normal, right, Nicole? The leaves fall off the tree. Well, that's not exactly right. Here's the deal. Let me show you something else on this tree. You see that? There's like 4 of them that all kind of grew out of the ground. These 3 come out of one root structure, and that one's separate over there. Look at its leaves. Well, by gum, there's a bunch of leaves on that tree. So why do you suppose this tree has no leaves? And look, there's a little scar right here. Right there. Just a little scar. And there's another little scar right here. But, you know, it looks pretty good. That didn't go that deep into there, did it? There's another little scar right here and something red. I can tell you a story about this tree. You see, when we had the excavation work done behind the house, which is this big ditch over here, there was a dump truck full of, what you see there is all this clay on the ground, right? Full of clay. And they were basically scooping dirt out from here behind my house, putting it into the dump truck, and then, you know, dumping it to make a new little parking pad and generally taking care of things. And what happened is, you know what happened? The clutch gave out and the brakes gave out on the dump truck, and it went careening down the hill full of clay. It's a really heavy load, and if you look down there, there's a building right there. Luckily, 14 years ago when I moved in, this was a little 10-foot tall sapling that kind of looked like that invasive plant I always get rid of, or try to get rid of. It looks kind of like sumac because the leaves are growing in this sort of a way, in this sort of cluster of leaves. You can see it on the black walnut tree that's still got its leaves. That tree stopped the dump truck. And when the dump truck hit this tree, it stopped the dump truck cold. Just done. Didn't even shake the tree. Didn't even shake the tree. I was so relieved that I had made the decision to keep this tree and let it grow really tall and get really big, because that dump truck would have gone right through another vehicle that was parked below the tree and into my guest cabin and totally ruined it. And we just kind of all were relieved, managed to pull the dump truck back. They didn't use the dump truck for the rest of the project, right? And went on with life. And then I noticed that this tree, this black walnut tree, was dropping its leaves early. And I figured, you know, okay, drought, whatever. And then one day I was looking and I realized half the tree still has leaves. And then I investigated the stump, or not the stump, but the trunks of the trees, and I realized there's 2 different root structures under there. And the one tree that did not get hit by the dump truck still has its leaves. And the tree that did get hit by the dump truck is losing its leaves. And that brings me to what I was thinking about this morning. So I was getting ready to go on my walk. I'm not on my walk yet, because I wanted to be able to show you the tree in this video. And the thing that struck me is sometimes when we are looking at something and we think it's all okay, the damage is on the inside and it's invisible. Sometimes the hurt goes beyond the surface and you can't see it. You know, we give ourselves a lot of grace when we make mistakes and say things to people that we shouldn't say. And they forgive us. But guys, sometimes that damage is on the inside. Sometimes that damage is on the inside, and that person that you may have said something to you shouldn't have is starting to drop their leaves. Starting to drop their leaves. So think about that next time you're mad and you want to be that dump truck careening down the hill. Maybe take a minute to pause and ask, what damage might I do? What damage might I do? Because when the damage is on the inside, we don't always see it. And when we don't see it, we can't fix it. And sometimes we just can't fix it. There's not a lot you can do to save the tree that the dump truck hit. Now, we'll know next year if this tree survives or not. It looks like it's giving it a gallant try, right? These leaves that you see on the tips of the branches are hanging on. And the sap is about to go down into the roots for the winter. And it can regenerate its roots. Its roots are probably fine. And we'll see if the shock of being shaken or hit by that dump truck, and I'll tell you what, like literally the tree did not shake. See if the shock of that situation, which we didn't even see the results of the day it happened, has killed this walnut tree, or if it's gonna come back better next spring. Either way, we don't know from the surface of the trunk if it happened. We just know. We just know. Because we were here and saw what happened, why it's dropping its leaves. And I've got people in my life who, it's clear that they've had a hard time too, and I don't know why, because I didn't see the dump truck hit them. But they sometimes need some time too to send their sap into their roots and recover. That was my thought today. Make it a great week.